welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Max and Mark from the band Spite House. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! On this episode, I'm joined with some fabulous Montreal folks. It's Max and Mark from Spite House. How are y'all?
Good, you?
Pretty good.
Max hassled me about drinking coffee, and he's like, I bet you have to drink decaf. Well, that's not true. So I'm already feeling a bit hyped up, and my cat's been running around constantly. So I don't know how y'all are feeling right now, but I'm so excited and wired.
Oh shit!
I made a decaf, but I think there was some like caffeinated beans left in my grinder, so I'm starting to get in the zone right now.
There it is.
Yeah.
Max, you can't drink caffeine, can you?
Not really. No, it gives me migraines. I used to love coffee, and then one time I realized that every time I drank a cup, I was having a terrible migraine right after. So yeah, I can have certain decaf that like the caffeine content is super low. So I still drink that sometimes, but I just realized that not too long ago that I could still have those, because at one point even the decaf was giving me a lot of trouble.
You sent me a picture like not too long ago of you making a beautiful espresso.
Me? Oh yeah, with that stupid machine. Yeah, it's a beautiful machine that's like 40 years old, and that my girlfriend's parents gave us. Yeah, it makes a very.
When it works really, really well.
It's kind of gross, but
I liked it.
Well,
the baby doesn't like it.
No, she's not into it.
Yeah, she hated the coffee.
Don't give a baby coffee. I don't know who needs to hear that.
It was decaf. It's fine.
Trace amounts. Well, Mark, what are you drinking?
So, while I'm having a decaf, I did decaf shaken espresso. So I shook it with brown sugar, a bit of cinnamon, and just a little bit of coarse salt. And then so it's a Peru decaf blend, and it's super sweet. It's super good. I wanted some maple syrup, but I don't have any more of it, but yeah, it's a delight. Yeah, I really like having a decaf at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it tastes really good.
I was wondering why it's green.
Oh, it's the copy screen.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were drinking matcha. I see it now.
Yeah, look at all that froth. It's really, really frothy. So yeah. With a lot of ice.
I've been making a lot of the shaken espressos recently. My wife has been on a big, like, frothy coffee kick. So I've been doing like the maple shaken espressos, but I don't have a machine. I use an AeroPress for the espresso.
Yeah, I thought about getting a AeroPress, like for camping or like for to be able to pack easily. Even like bringing one on tour when like there's only shit coffee available. Or so sometimes I make like a stovetop as well at home. I really, really like making stovetop. I got good at making a good stovetop recently. Because before I was always putting the heat too high, and then it would start to be really hot and then go everywhere. But then now, like, I'm really, really taking my time, and yeah, it's actually really, really, really good. It's like a really strong filter coffee, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I just use like I have an old Breville Barista Express, but it does the trick. Like, the grinder is shit, but like I was able to dial it in quite well, because like, there's like a external dial, like the coarse adjustments, but there's also like another dial inside. If you take it apart, then you can make it even finer adjustments. And yeah, with like a bit of extra tool, like the needles, like to you know, break the crumble of grinded coffee, and like a good temper, really can really make this machine shine. Yeah.
Yep. Just gotta WDT it.
Yeah, I just like, I take really good care of it. I change the filters, and I clean it thoroughly. I do decalcification every 3 months, and I've had it for I think 7 years.
Wow.
And I thought about changing it, but it does, like with good coffee, it does the trick, you know.
See, I love to hear this. We have Mark is on the coffee game. He's doing it. He's got the espresso. He's got the tools. Max has the old espresso machine with the decaf, making it happen. Nab sent me a photo yesterday of him drinking a coffee for the second time in his life, I think.
Really? You didn't?
I'm not kidding. He sent me a photo. It was a video. It was a video of him going, "I'm drinking coffee for the second time in my life." He's like, honestly, I kind of like it.
Oh,
Really?
I want to see Nab on
Interesting.
coffee. Wired up.
Very
High on
exciting
coffee.
to see. So
Nice.
I think by come Madhouse, I'll have at least 2 members of Spite House coming to buy cold brew. Max, I don't make decaffeinated cold brew, so I'm sorry. You're kind of SOL there, but this is very exciting.
Yeah, dude,
Cool.
I love the batch that I got from you at Madhouse. And I even, like, the 2 weeks after, I went to, because I live next to Balance,
Mm-hmm.
and they had some left, and I bought some more. And yeah, I love this coffee place, man. Really down to earth and nice guys. And
Yeah.
but you play in a band with one of the guy who works there, right?
I used to.
Oh, okay.
He's in another band now with one of the other members that was in Jarred.
Charred, yeah, that's
like
it.
the mathcore, like Converge kind of band. They have a screamo band that is
Okay.
ferocious. Like, they're in the middle of recording right now, and it's sick.
Okay, nice.
I'm very excited about what they've got going on. So,
Me too.
I think it was for the best that we all parted ways, because now we're all in like much better bands.
Well,
It's like one of those.
Right on.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what I'm sipping on before I run out, because I'm almost out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pilot Coffee Roasters, they have a seasonal kind of thing that they do called Ana Sora. And usually I think it's a summer release, but the past 2 years it's been in the winter for some reason. But it is from Ethiopia. It's from a particular like washing station, I believe. So it's like a single farmer or producer. And it's like always a very hyped coffee with people who follow Pilot. Like, one of my friends in Gatineau, his favorite coffee in the whole world is this specific like batch that they release, and it always changes. So the last one they released was like raspberry, very sweet, like tart raspberry. This one is like strawberry and vanilla.
How did you brew it?
Oh, my coffee? How did I do everything on V60. Pour
Okay.
over.
Nice.
I
haven't got into pour over yet, but it looks like a lot of fun.
If you do, it will ruin your life.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
because it's too good.
Like today I was brewing like right before, and my grinder, I've been trying to like redial it in. Like, I don't know why it's been going too fine or like I've been getting too many like fines in the coffee, so it's been muddy. Like whenever it drains through, it's like very muddy looking. And it took a long time to drip down, which is like after you pour all the water in, waiting for it to go through. Like it basically self-filters. And it took a long time, like longer than usual. And so now I'm like freaking out because it's like the grind setting that I've used for 2 years is not working. And I don't know what to do. So I'm like, should I clean my grinder? Should I change the grind setting? So now I'm scared because I have to fix it. So it's just things like that. It's like little like micro adjustments that make the coffee better, and then you kind of like obsess over it.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Yes. But I mean, espresso's the same way.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, like I don't mind that my Breville is like it's it's a bit wonky, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm very precise when I make the stovetop now. Again, with like the right temperature for the boiling. Like I'm like next to the stove, always moving it like on the fire, out of the fire until like I hear the perfect sound. But man, it is so satisfying. Yeah.
Did you watch James Hoffman's video on how to get like the best brew?
No, I didn't.
That's who I followed.
Oh yeah. Yes, I did. That's exactly his technique that I.
The funky dude
the guy with the
hair.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I watched his video and and that's from him when I got the method of like just moving it in and out of the stove of the heat just to get like the right temperature for the stovetop thing. Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know the reason that the coffee from those like mocha pots are super bitter is because you're adding heat to the beans, waiting for the water to boil. So if you put boiling water in before you put it on the stove and then put it on a medium heat, it gives you like a much better tasting coffee. And so
that's where the good shit starts to happen. Yeah, man. Yeah. You can ruin coffee with like a stovetop, or you can make like heaven taste coffee.
Amazing. Well, you shouted out your favorite shop, Mark. Max, do you have a favorite coffee shop that you go to?
Not really. Honestly, like I don't drink enough coffee to like have a favorite spot. It's very rare that I take a decaf if I don't make it myself. Unless we are on tour and then we're going to Starbucks getting those those
oh yeah,
those
say it.
Can I say that word on this podcast? Oh, what do you think?
Oh, are you getting frappuccinos?
No, worse.
What do you mean? What's worse than that?
PSL.
Dog, there's nothing wrong with a PSL. Let me tell you something.
Oh, really? I thought it was like a taboo that you can't pronounce it.
No,
it's like
no.
Voldemort of coffee.
No. It is not the one we will not name. Pumpkin spice has its place.
Okay, sick.
It's a treat.
On last tour, we were getting that like almost every day, I think. The first time we stopped, it was awful. It was like the worst pumpkin spice latte I've had in my life.
It was so bad.
And we were like, is it just bad in the States? Like, do they have a different recipe or something? And then the second day we tried it again and it was fine. But the first one was rough.
Good.
Yeah, so like the past couple of months I've been getting that, but it's not like out of a cool coffee shop or anything. I'm just like going to Starbucks for it and paying way too much.
If you there's a shop down the street from me that I really like, and they do a homemade PSL.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
And it has become one of my favorites.
Nice. I also tried it here, like with all the ingredients, and it's just not the same though. There's something about the syrup that they have. I don't know. It's so sweet. I don't know how they
Mhm.
make it, but
A lot of sugar.
yeah.
It's just a lot of sugar.
That's yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's syrup.
Yeah.
Um, I made a homemade one too. Like I made a syrup, and it was so much fucking trouble that I don't ever want to do it again.
What was in the syrup?
Take a can of pumpkin pie, like pumpkin puree that you make a pie with,
Yeah.
and put it in a cheesecloth and let all the water strain out from it. Like push
Okay.
all the water out.
Yeah.
Use that water to boil your sugar and spices like cinnamon, clove, allspice, like everything you'd put in a pie. You
Yeah.
put that in the syrup and dissolve
Okay.
it, and then just let it sit for like 10 minutes, cool all the way down, and then put it in a thing. But it was just the whole action of squeezing the water out of pumpkin puree that at one point I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Right.
Like, why am I doing this?
I just put the puree right in the magic bullet. Yeah. With
Don't
all
do
the
that.
spices.
That's a smoothie.
No, but there's not like that much. So if you have like a lot of coffee and milk, then it's like it's fine.
Fucking chunks. Oh man, this is
I
a
said
chunky
it wasn't as
latte.
good though.
That's true. Don't put the puree. Don't learn from others' mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to know that y'all are just white girling it up on tour
Yeah.
this past one.
I
Yeah.
also really love the nitro cold brew at Starbucks.
That's the good stuff.
Dude, it's really 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 good. But for some reason, most of the time they don't have it, and apparently it's because cleaning the taps is a really shitty job, and they don't have time to do it. So they just say like we're out of it. I get it, like that it's a bit more work, but when they do have it, man, it's so worth it.
It's not even a hard job. They just don't want to do it. Stupid.
Yeah, I guess they don't. Yeah, they don't want to just
Clean
Yeah,
the taps.
too lazy.
Just fucking
Yeah.
Clean it.
just yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
one fucking tap.
Yeah, it's one tap. And all you have to
Yeah.
do, I think you just like unplug the keg and plug up a cleaner and run it through, and that's it. Like, and then you let it soak. You take the nozzles off and you soak the taps in like a cleaner bucket, and then you put them back on. But whatever. That's the only drinkable black coffee at Starbucks, by the way, the Nitro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a video recently, and somebody was like, my regular order is Pike's Place every morning, and I was like, why do you hate yourself? That's the worst coffee.
So, is there a way to make nitro cold brew at home? You think? Like, if you buy a tap with like nitrous or something, I don't know.
So you can buy like really small nitro kegs. They used to sell them on Amazon, but I think you have to go to a different site now. And then you literally just uncap it, sanitize your keg, and then they sell it where it has a capsule that infuses the nitrogen once you lock the cold brew inside, and it has a little tap on it that you can do, and I think it does about 1 liter.
Nice.
Yeah. But spoiler, I'm working on figuring out if I can nitro cold brew.
Hell yeah. That's my thing.
And that will be a game changer because nobody in Montreal is selling canned nitro cold brew.
Dude, definitely do it, please.
I have
make a
no
decaf
idea what
one.
nitro cold brew is.
Have you ever seen, I know you don't drink either, but like, have you seen like a Guinness being poured? Like a Guinness beer?
I think
You know,
we
it's,
talked
like,
about
cloudy.
this. Yeah.
So nitro, the reason it does that is because of the nitro. They infuse nitrogen in the beer.
Yeah.
And so basically you can do that with cold brew.
Okay.
So you basically,
You get it.
like you can put it in the can and then you basically agitate the can and crack it and then let all the fizz like drill out into the glass so it gets all cloudy and nice. And then once it's done releasing all the gas, you can pop it all the way and then fill it up.
Okay.
And it's
Cool.
very aesthetically pleasing, I guess. All the
It's fun, and it's fun to drink. Like it's,
it feels like a coffee beer.
yes, exactly. Yeah, it's
with
like
no
yeah.
sin or no shame.
No sin and no shame.
You're not sinning.
Hello.
I know a little bit earlier we talked about you guys going to recording school together, but I guess, is that how Spite House was formed, or did y'all know each other like well before that?
But that was like years ago. That was like 12 years ago that we went to audio school.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That 2011, I think.
Damn.
2012. Yeah. Yeah. So we met there. I'm originally from Gatineau, and it had been like a year that I was in Montreal doing like CGIP stuff, and then I decided to enroll in that, and that program is like the first place I met people that were listening to the same music as me, and it was really fun and cool, the program itself, but also just to like meet people that you can go to shows with, and just like slowly, instead of like going to hardcore shows alone, and like I'm a shy person, I didn't talk to anyone, so it was way more fun with friends.
And also being able to talk about like hardcore, like recording hardcore music.
Yeah.
And like
Good.
that it's okay to put distortion on everything. It's okay to like over compress everything. Like, you know, they don't teach that in like recording school. You're not getting teach to like,
and just
you know,
like you have like records that you're like, oh, I love this record. Oh, I love it too. But for the recording itself and the production, but you would never talk about those records with other students that don't even have like, they're there to record, I don't know, hip hop or jazz or whatever. Right. And I feel like having Mark in the program was like, okay, like it all makes sense because we apply what we learn to the stuff we like, and it doesn't feel weird.
It's like when you show like a teacher like a reference song, you're like, oh, this is a fucking shit recording, but you're like, no, this is the best thing I've ever heard, you know. I'm not, you know, like most like DIY recordings or so yeah, I think this was like the main thing that like brought me and Max together, was being able to talk like, oh, like how do you think this album was recorded? Oh, I heard like he used this technique or this technique. So yeah, definitely we bonded over this and started going to shows together. Yeah, we even had like we in one class we had to like build a song and then record it from scratch, and this might have been the first Spite House song ever.
yeah. So that was fun. I think it was
11 years ago.
I still have that song somewhere. Yeah. It was like
the teacher was like he was a classical pianist, and he owns like he owns a like mix art studio in Montreal.
But
it's it's like a really fancy studio, and he fucking dig the song so much. He was like, yo guys, this is awesome. Like I've never heard anything like it, but you guys like, and we got a really great score on it, and he was just like blown away that we did that.
It was like
it was funny,
sounding like melodic hardcore from like, I don't know, like More Than Life and stuff like that we were like really into at that time. And,
we were really into the Carrier.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, definitely a big influence for that song.
Yeah. That was like the beginning of Spite House.
A lot of fun,
Then it took another like 8 years before we started like a real band.
Wait, so were y'all in other bands like in those 8 years?
So when I moved to Montreal, I joined a band called Dark Circles. We played like mostly D-beat, like touching a bit of like black metal, a bit of hardcore, and that went on for until the pandemic hit, and then it ended after that. and then I played
Is it
drums
truly
in the.
truly over though? Is it ever over?
I have
I don't think
I have
so.
heard rumors as well.
I think it's just hiatus that they
well,
say.
it's a really really long hiatus. Like I would love to get back together, but our singer Jimmy moved to Halifax, and Chris, our bassist, moved even further. He moved in Saint-Basile-le-Grand.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we talk. We still have like an Instagram group chat. During the pandemic, we played Call of Duty Modern Warfare every day. And so this was our band practice. But yeah, we never know. I'd love to play some D-beat music again. I also play in Kraken, which is more like down-tempo, doomy sludge stuff. Really influenced by Amen-Ra. I was mostly into like really heavy, loud, fast music. And then I was sick of playing D beats and blast beats, so I told Max, "Hey, want to do a punk band together?"
Yeah, so I was in another band before Spite House. It was called Deeper Well, and it was kind of, I guess, a take on all those Lifetime kind of band, like upbeat punk, melodic hardcore, but like with a pop sensibility, I guess. And it was with the singer of No Bones, Antoine, and that lasted for like, I don't know, for 2-3 years, I think. We made 2 EPs, did a couple of like super small weekend runs, and that was pretty much it for that band. And I was on guitar, I wasn't singing. And yeah, after that, it took a while for me to get back into like writing stuff and being in a band. I was like more focused on the recording aspect and trying to get more into that seriously. So Spite House is my second band. And then there's like the other bands that I was involved with after that, like Cetus and Will to Speak. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I don't have like a lot of bands experience, I guess, like playing in bands, I guess. But I've learned a lot from just interacting with bands in the studio and like learning their dynamic and how they work, and like that kind of added up over the years. And also just hearing from my friends that were in bands that I like Mark, and the things they did. And
Mark, you're inspiring.
yeah,
I try to be. I think I see myself a bit like the dad of the band, you know?
well, you are.
Like
You're the dad in the band.
I definitely am. But yeah, I like to take care of my boys, you know? When we go on tour, I take all the medications, like for everybody, and then, take care of like sleeping situations and mattresses for everybody, make sure everybody hydrates, and no, it's just I like this role. I like taking care of my boys, you know.
It's a good man. It's a good man.
Yeah.
So why is the name Spite House? Because I feel like it's a reference that I don't know a lot of people, especially from like Quebec, would get, because I don't think that's like a big thing here. So where did that idea come from?
Well, it comes from a show. It's Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's like a whole season about doing things out of spite. And what I got, aside from all the laughs from that season, is that a lot of good things can come out of spite. And I learned about spite houses, and I thought it was just like a very interesting idea that some people would like go as far as build houses just to piss someone off. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of it makes sense with the music we make, in the sense that it's a little bit like a fuck you to my insecurities in some way. Like I've always wanted to sing in a band, and it's like, I don't know, there's like this thing about doing things to spite that side of me that is like, you can't do it. And yeah, and I obviously I am a big Larry David fan, and I just enjoyed the show so much, and we were like going over lists and lists and lists of names, and we were never satisfied with something. And then when I don't know, like arrived on that and sent it to Mark, he was like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. And at that point, like kind of cool was enough for us to just move forward with it. So
Yeah, I think when you first pitched in, I was like, yeah, all right. I was really sick of like trying to find a band name.
yeah, I think it's one of the worst steps of creating a band. If you don't have like already a list of cool names that you're like, someday I'll have a band that's named this or that, then it's kind of like painful to think about all the possibilities, but also for it to make sense conceptually with what you want to create, but you still don't know what you're creating will be, and it's like it's very hard. I find it's not a fun thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it ended up like building the concept around the first LP as well.
Yeah.
So, and I think
So that's it.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
But if you don't know Curb Your Enthusiasm, then I highly recommend you watch the show. And some people like it, some people hate it, and it's my type of humor.
It's insanely cringy, and I can see how some people would find it too cringe.
Yeah,
but yeah,
very awkward.
It's so good, man. It's a lot of good catchphrases.
What's like Michael Scott? If you know anything about like The Office and Michael Scott's character, then you understand like Curb Your Enthusiasm is basically like the inspiration for his character. Like he's the biggest
like
Larry David fan.
Yeah, it's like watching Scott's thoughts over and over again.
Or Dinner Party.
Oh yeah.
Scott's Tots is like one of the worst fucking episodes of television that's ever been made.
I just recalled which one was that. The fucking
I can't, man. It's like, Curb really teaches you how you can be like a real asshole. Like like sometimes me and Max like argue over each other, and I can see him being like Larry David.
I was sometimes
and dude, it's the worst, man. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, man. Yeah.
You're just trying to be difficult.
Yeah.
Just like being difficult just to be difficult, So it's like, all right,
you can never drop anything. It's like, yes, we know you're right, but it doesn't change anything right now. But he needs to make the point that, yeah.
Have you watched I Think You Should Leave?
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
How do you find... Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
What's that? One of the thing that pops into my head the most is from Bozo dubbed Over, when he like makes his viral, and he's like, "Oh fuck, what the fuck?" It's like the funniest. It gets stuck in my head constantly. But I find that Tim's. Did you make this?
Did you make this last night? No.
Did not. I find Tim, his like humor is very much like inspired by Larry David, but then like, how much further can I go to where it's not even like funny anymore? It's just truly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And existential.
Hold on, which one?
Pretty.
We're still talking about I Think You Should Leave or Curb.
Yeah. No, Tim Robinson, I feel like because he's inspired by that era being like SNL, like an SNL writer, but then like just takes it so much further than it should go.
Yeah, when we just came back from tour with a band called Heavy X, and then on the way to the States we were talking about I Think You Should Leave, and then when we got to meet with them, they had printed out the driving crooner hat and cigar to put in the window. And then it was like, like with the fingers and smoking the cigars.
He's trying to make it not work. He's trying to make it not work.
There's gotta be a way to make money out of this.
And so
this guy wants to kill me.
We really bonded over, I think you should leave, like, big time. I think it's the kind of thing you either like love it or you like don't find it funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes
when you think it's funny,
find
it's really funny.
Sometimes I watch like an episode and there's like many sketches that I don't find funny on the moment, but when I talk about the sketch, it all makes sense, and now it becomes funny to talk about the sketch that I thought was like what the fuck is this? And then you talk about it, and it's like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's the number one. Me and Josh from Crosscheck, we will quote that to each other every time. I don't feel like being around anymore. What, like, like you don't want to live because you're in the suit? Yep. It's so hot.
I definitely said there's too much fucking shit on me while I was playing drums. Because I was so hot.
That and the Dan Flashes one. I didn't find the Dan Flashes, the shirts one funny at all. And then I was like trying to talk about it. And I was like, oh, the more crazy the pattern, the more expensive the shirt. It made sense.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You guys are signed to NMZ, and y'all were signed basically before the LP came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like during the like before shows could come back.
Yeah.
How did
Pretty
that?
much it.
How does that process? Did you? Because I heard about Spite House. Y'all played a show in Montreal. I don't remember which one, and I was playing in No Rescue. And then like, I think Will came to me and was like, "Dude, this band is fucking sick." And then that's how I heard about you guys. But then I was like, "Oh shit, they're already signed to NMZ, and then they've already got like an LP out. This is crazy." So how did the rollout? Did you plan that, or was it just like, we have time, let's shop it out, let's see who's interested?
It was a little bit of that. We spent like a lot of time like recording demos for it. Like we met right before the pandemic, right? For the first jam. And at that first jam, we had like 3 songs written, and we're like, okay, so like there's something there, like there's the chemistry is going great, and we just felt like it's cool, it's fun, and it's flowing. So like let's just continue. And then bam, the pandemic hit, so we couldn't jam for a while, and then it was like kind of on and off with like the places that were closed, and then at one point you could meet, and at another point you couldn't meet, and whatever. So we have like being like the two of us like recorders or whatever, like audio people. We have like access to recordings or at least like demo style recording easily on like every places we play or we jam or practice. We always have like microphones available and like sound cards and stuff like that. So we're like, okay, well, during the meantime, let's just like write a bunch of songs and demo them. And then, so that took a while. And then we're like, okay, so we're really down with the bunch of songs that we have. What do we want to do with that? And we're like, there's no shows going on. There's nothing happening, and we don't know when it will start again. So I'm like, okay, well, let's do a real recording of those songs and make like the best thing we can. We already knew that we wanted it to be an LP because I don't know, the challenge of making an LP and the concept of it all was like a thing already. So yeah, so we spent like more time not demoing, but like re-recording everything. At that point, we found Nab for bass, and then things started opening up again, and I'm not sure if we already talked to Nick before or after the first like Spite House appearance, but we did like this Turbo House thing that we could just like show up, not even be
Like
a band.
open mic thing.
Yeah, open mic kind of thing, and just like play 3 songs, in which after the second one I broke a string. And, and then we were like,
Y'all
okay,
did
so
the- y'all
this
did
was
the-
fun.
Y'all did the open mic jam.
Yeah,
We did the first open mic
the
jam.
first one. We were like, yo, let's do this. And it was my first time singing in front of people.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is that the
And,
video that y'all used for? Is it Dying Leaves? Is that from that? Did y'all record that?
No, we like a lot of bands in Montreal. We played Turbo House many times in that year.
Like, were y'all trying to be Gutser? Is that what it was?
Yeah. And yeah, so when we had like the final mixes and everything, we were like, yo, this is pretty good, like let's send it to some people. And we had like NMZ in mind because we knew of some bands that were on NMZ, and also that like previously were on NMZ, like Life's Question, Soul Blind, and bands like that. Nab, I think is a friend of Nick through his zine. So they wanted to work together at some point. So we sent the LP. Nick was pretty busy and was like, I don't know, like we'll see like if we could work this out. And then he listened to the LP and he was like, okay, I really love this, and he wanted to put it out. So that's how it happened. And then we were like, okay, but it's kind of maybe a bit much to just like bam drop an LP like that out of nowhere. So we did the promo thing, but those 2 songs, the 2 first songs, are on the LP as well, and we put a different version of Essence just to make like we had all those demos, and we were like satisfied with how different it was and how also interesting it was compared to like the LP version. So that was the promo tape, and then it took like so much time to get the vinyl pressed. It took like I remember at one point Mark was really discouraged because he was like, I can't wait like 9 months for this. Like this is crazy.
I think it took 8 months, something like that.
It ended up taking 8 months total before we have like
'Cause
it took 4 months to get the
all
test
the-
press.
all the pressing plants were starting to reopen, and they were getting like backed up really quickly. So yeah, 8 months was a good turnaround at that time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's
I remember people waiting,
basically
like-
the story. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say something that doesn't mean anything.
I want to
people
hear
waiting so long for the pressing
Oh, yeah.
plants, the supply chain. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
remembers when it had to wait a year for the record to come out, and then Taylor Swift in her records backed everything up. I don't know if you
Right.
remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you need that Taylor Swift on vinyl.
No, you don't.
Okay.
I need the new Jonas.
okay, right?
I need the new Jonas Brothers record on vinyl. How about that?
Yeah. Good choice.
It's better.
I just got the last Blink album on vinyl.
Does it sound better
It's-
than on streaming?
It sounds a bit more organic, especially Anthem Part 3. I couldn't listen to it in like my AirPods. It was so compressed, man. Oh my god. But yeah, vinyl was, it sounded good.
I don't even know what to say about that. I try. I don't know.
You tried?
Yeah.
You need it on vinyl. You'll understand on vinyl.
Are you sure about that?
No.
No, it doesn't sound better, but I needed to have it.
as a wall hanger.
I pre-ordered it. I don't know why, but
The next Spite House is gonna sound like this. So I don't. So basically, Mark, I don't need you to play on the album. I have a version
don't
of
even have
Superior
to.
Drummer.
I don't even have to play a thing.
It's crazy. You can just get the Travis Barcher Superior drummer pack, and then you have all the sounds you need.
Does he have one?
I don't know, but who doesn't love the sound of Orange County Percussion's 20 by 20 inch kick?
That's really funny because Max recorded an OCDP kit this weekend.
Yeah.
OCDP. Yeah.
Yeah.
OCDP. Or people still play those?
Yeah, it's the category 514.
What does Spite House have coming up through the end of the year into 2024?
Nothing till the end of the year. I think we decided to not play shows after the tour because we wanted to focus on the next recording. We've been like writing the second LP for a while now, and we're pretty much done with demoing. So what's next is finding time to do the whole like real recording of stuff after we're all satisfied with the pre-prods.
I think it's our third pre-prod now that we did.
Yeah, or fourth even.
Yeah, on some songs.
Oh yeah, you've been like that way. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then when we'll have the record ready, then I don't know, we'll start booking shows. And yeah, we have stuff like that we can't really talk about right now. That is gonna be in 2024. But yeah, I don't know. We're working hard.
It's gonna be a very exciting years, and we're definitely gonna like go on new territories for us.
It's a good
very
hint.
exciting stuff. Yeah,
It's a good hint.
It's very mysterious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shrouded in mystery. Well, Max, Mark, thank you so much for hanging out. This has been much more chill than I even imagined, because usually Max comes out of like left field with some like weird ass conversation topics. So
when I just take a picture of you on a date with your girlfriend and send it to you like 2 hours later, but we never talked.
It wasn't even the fact that it was like that you took the photo. It was that it was so far after.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
I just have. It's all good. It's it's one of the things that I love you for. So,
Awesome.
well, let me know before we go. What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
I don't know, Montreal, man. Like I get all the beans and all the breakdowns. I can have right here, right next to my home.
Yes.
And then
literally.
every neighborhood that's such crazy good coffee places, and yeah, a lot of sick bands, sick drummers. Yeah, amazing scene. Love it.
No, it's my turn. I'm disqualified for
Yes.
the beans part. I think. I'm probably gonna say like Boston for hardcore, because all the bands that were coming out of that scene in like the early 2000 to mid 2000 are kind of like what I was listening to when I got into hardcore. So like American Nightmare and all those bands that like the Bridgeline scene. So I'm gonna say that for those reasons. And for beans, then I'm just disqualified.
It's fine. We'll give you a
Wherever
pass.
there's a Starbucks.
Yeah. Which can't be Boston because that's Duncan territory. So anyway, I love Boston too. Have Heart's like one of my favorite bands of all time. So Boston has a very secured spot in my heart. Y'all played
Boston is the reason. Yeah, we did.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was our second to last date. We played Boston.
We played O'Brien's pub.
How's that?
It was cool. Actually, the guy Chris from Bridgeline was there. Well, EVX is a Bridgeline band now, and they're working on like putting out their LP, which is gonna come out.
Still around?
Yeah, they're trying to revive the whole B9 thing. So I think they're working on a lot of stuff that is gonna like revive that whole. There's like there's a comeback of that sound, I guess, with like One Step Closer and all those bands. So I think it makes sense that Bridgeline will be back with some newer bands in that genre.
I think you're brewing a lot of stuff, and I think you're gonna be excited about a lot of stuff that's coming.
Is there like a reunion or?
We're just like making theories about what's to come.
Man, Bridge 9 coming back would be like, I think me and John were talking about it the other day. Like, that was like the epitome. Like, before Triple B, before like Days, Bridge 9 was like the one. And Victory. Victory was like turning into like the, shitty fucking weird metalcore pop punk shit. Not to insult anybody listening. That's not my cup of tea. Easy core is not my favorite genre of music. So, yeah. Thanks for.
Yeah, thanks you, man. Thanks for having us.
Before I alienate every single listener. Thanks for everything. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Max and Mark for joining us again on the podcast. Be sure to check out Spite House. Music is available on all listening platforms, and they are constantly touring, so be sure to check out any dates coming up near you. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the